Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Proverbs with Paul in the afternoon. And it's been a glorious afternoon. Once the sun came up, wow, what a wonderful day. Thank you, Jesus. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 28. Certainly she lurks as a robber and increases the treacherous among mankind. God invites Solomon to give him his heart, unless he find himself ensnared to those who bring treacherously upon the world. He says, avoid the deep, narrow pit. And here he reiterates the declaration by saying these words: she lurks and is a robber. And the robbing reality of what this indulgence will do is seduce you and lead you into disdain as far as God is concerned. When we give ourselves to the practice of inappropriate, anything that's to do with evil practice, we disdain the reality of our relationship with God, and therefore it hurts God. And if we are Christians and given our lives to Jesus, we should avoid hurting the Father in every possible way we can, which is meaning make choices that are going to avoid hurting God. If we know something is displeasing to the Lord, then we should exercise the self-discipline to be able to say to ourselves, hey, you, that's enough. That's not who we are now. Pack that up. Don't go there. Don't think that. Now, that kind of authority over our lives is only possible when you understand who you are. We are called spiritual beings, soul beings, and fleshly beings. And the reality of our walk as Christians is that our spirit should be in charge of us, and our soul, which is often in rebellion to God and our spirit, we need to bring it under subjection to the will and purposes of God, which means we have to exercise self-control. And if we don't, then we are seduced. And he says that. He says, you increase the treacherous among mankind, meaning that if you give yourself to the deeds of darkness, then you increase the reality of God's wrath upon mankind, because every sin will be dealt with according to the will and purposes of God, meaning that one day we will have to give an account, justify the reason as to why we made the choice to do something, or in some cases to not do something. God has called us as reconciled children to be a representation of him on the earth, which means we are those who are doing good and right and proper. And anything that seduces us into doing anything other than that is an enemy of us and an enemy of God and an enemy of mankind. Brothers and sisters, live in the salvation that God has brought you into as a Christian, and do the things that the Spirit of God leads you to do. Thank you for joining me. Be blessed. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy the evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.